Hi, Marianne Johnson here. Have you ever had students that question the way you grade? They think that they've turned in something with no errors, so they should get better than a C or even B minus or whatever you gave. And it didn't occur to them that you might have something else in mind for an A or a B, and you need to have an answer for that. And so I'd like to share with you something you can share with them to teach them about what a rubric is. And in fact, if we haven't taught this and made it clear to kids, it's not always apparent to them how we decide on grades at all. So we need to have this made clear, and a starting point would be what I call the Hamburger rubric. In the Hamburger rubric, there are 5 levels, just as you can see on the side. They could be from the A to F grades, or they could be from a point system 5 to 1. And I'll explain to you what they would be like in a way you can share with them. For the 3, or the C, it would be like going into a hamburger place and saying, I would just like a plain hamburger. And you would get one, and it would be the average order that you made and the average item they have. If you were a little bit fancier that day and in the mood, you might order a cheeseburger or even a cheeseburger deluxe, which has quite a bit more to it than just the plain hamburger. And if you're really celebrating, you might choose a Big Mac. And with the Big Mac and the sesame seed buns and all the added special sauce, it clearly is the king of the burger world. Now, what about the 2 and the 1 scores for a hamburger rubric? For the 2, you ordered a hamburger, and what you got were 2 buns and no meat. That's not really worth a C or average. And worse yet, if you ordered a 1, you might get a fish witch instead of a hamburger. So with this obvious set of comparisons, you can begin to help them see how a person develops a guideline or a ruler or a rubric for their grading. It might help if you created a rubric with them sometime. For instance, they could do hamburgers or sports equipment or cars. So they begin to see that there are the same item on many different scales. And then for the next assignment, in which they might need to have a differentiation other than 100% like in science or math, you could go over it with them before they do the work, so they know what you're aimed for, what you like for the top levels, and what you'd consider not accurate enough to be a C. I hope that gives you some ideas.